So in this video we're going to be looking at English pronunciation, or rather intonation, when we're talking about sentence stress. English is a very melodic language and we can go up and down with our voice and pause before or after a word, speed up or slow down to give the sentence or words in a sentence more meaning than other words. I can say the same sentence 4 or 5 or 6 different ways with different meanings and different flavour just by exaggerating or stressing or highlighting a different word every time. Let's take a look at one sentence and then see how we can change our sentence stress to give the sentence a different meaning. So, the first sentence is, Jack will cycle to the restaurant tonight. Now let's imagine that I am not a native English speaker, but I am a robot, and a robot will not give any exaggeration or stress or feeling to the sentence. So here is the robot. Jack will cycle to the restaurant tonight. It doesn't sound like good English, does it? There's no feeling there. We don't know what are the important words for the speaker. But if we look here at sentence number 1, I've highlighted the word Jack. This will be my key word in the sentence. I'm going to exaggerate it a lot. And this is normal, true, real English. By exaggerating one word, I will help the listener understand my point of view. Sentence number 1. Jack will cycle to the restaurant tonight. The word Jack here had the most melody. It sounds funny like that, but you can still hear where the stress is in the sentence. Jack will cycle to the restaurant tonight. This could mean Jack, not John or David. Jack will cycle to the restaurant tonight. You can hear that the word Jack has more melody, plus it also has a pause after the word, meaning, did you hear that important piece of information I just said? Jack, pause, will cycle to the restaurant tonight. And the rest of the sentence, will cycle to the restaurant tonight, is all spoken very quickly, but Jack was very slow and meaningful. Jack will cycle to the restaurant tonight. Let's look at sentence number 2. I have shifted or moved the emphasis onto will. Jack will cycle to the restaurant tonight. This is emphasizing it's definite. He will do it. Not he may or he might or possibly. It's definite. That's my key word. That's the meaning of the sentence. Jack will cycle to the restaurant tonight. Let's go back to sentence number 1. Jack will cycle to the restaurant tonight. Sentence 2. Jack will cycle to the restaurant tonight. It's clear the difference in the meaning, isn't it? Sentence number 3. Shift the emphasis to cycle. Not drive or walk, cycle. Jack will cycle to the restaurant tonight. It's clear where the emphasis of this sentence lies. Sentence number 4, I've shifted the emphasis onto the word to. This could mean not from or not back from the restaurant, but to. Sentence number 4, Jack will cycle to the restaurant tonight. Jack will cycle to the restaurant tonight, not back. It's absolutely obvious which word I am stressing in this sentence. Sentence number 5. Jack will cycle to the restaurant tonight. Not to the cinema, to the restaurant. There's a little bit of melody in the voice there, just enough for you to know that that's my key word. Jack will cycle to the restaurant tonight. And there's also a little pause after the word. Now, sentence 6, let's do the shift, the exaggeration, the stress on the word tonight. Not tomorrow, not at the weekend, not next week, but tonight. Jack will cycle to the restaurant tonight. Jack will cycle to the restaurant tonight. Again, all the words in the sentence are read very quickly apart from the key word, tonight. Jack will cycle to the restaurant. That's very quick, isn't it? Everything is all together. Jack will cycle to the restaurant tonight. Then a slow, meaningful tonight to give the listener the chance to understand the key information. Now I'm going to choose one of these sentences without telling you the number, and you decide which one I've just read. Jack will cycle to the restaurant tonight. Jack will cycle to the restaurant tonight. To the restaurant, not the cinema. It's number 5, isn't it? Let's do another one. Jack will cycle to the restaurant tonight. Jack will cycle to the restaurant tonight. The meaningful word, the slow word, with a little pause after it, with a bit of melody, was number 1, sentence number 1, Jack. It's quite clear, isn't it, that just by stressing a word, slowing down, giving it some melody, that you can change the entire meaning or flavour of a sentence. Let's look at another example. Sue might be singing in the opera at the weekend. That was almost robotic, wasn't it? Without feeling. Robot. Sue might be singing in the opera at the weekend. Doesn't sound like good English. Let's put some feeling into it. Sue might be singing in the opera at the weekend. Sue might be singing in the opera at the weekend. There's a clear understanding there for the listener that it's Sue, not Sarah, not Samantha, not Jeffrey, but Sue might be singing. That was sentence number 1, of course. Sentence number 2. Let's put the emphasis on the modal verb, might. It's only a possibility. It's not definite. It's not will. Sue might be singing in the opera at the weekend. Sue might be singing in the opera at the weekend. Sentence number 3. We're talking about singing is the key moment here. Not acting, not directing, singing. Sue might be singing in the opera at the weekend. Sue might be singing in the opera at the weekend. Sentence number 4. The opera, not the theatre, not the street, not the party. Sue might be singing in the opera at the weekend. There I really raised my voice as though I was surprised by this fact. Sue might be singing in the opera at the weekend. That's kind of like, wow, isn't it fantastic for Sue? Sue might be singing in the opera at the weekend. It's unexpected. And sentence number 5, not tomorrow, not tonight, not next week, weekend. Here's the important word. Listen for it. I'm going to slow down for it and give it more melody than the rest of the words in the sentence. Sue might be singing in the opera at the weekend. Sue might be singing in the opera at the weekend. I think it's a good idea to pause the video, and after I've said the different sentences, 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5, for you to try and repeat and copy my voice pattern so that you can get this feeling of giving strength to an important word. And then try yourself. Try yourself to choose one particular sentence and see if it sounds different. For example, which sentence am I saying now? Sue might be singing in the opera at the weekend. Sue might be singing in the opera at the weekend. It's clear, it's sentence number 3, isn't it? Next one. Sue might be singing in the opera at the weekend. Sue might be singing in the opera at the weekend. Might was the slowest word there, wasn't it? It's clear for the listener to understand the important information. So, as I said, try to copy these sentences, stop the video and repeat after me. And with practice, you will improve your English pronunciation and the intonation and sentence stress. Come back again soon to St. George International's blog, www.stgeorges.co.uk/blog, and you can hear some more and see some more English pronunciation videos. Until the next time, see you later.